Hi everyone, this is Roxas1359. Welcome back to Let's Play Crash Bandicoot 4, The Wrath of Cortex. Last time, we ended up defeating Lolo and reacquired the Wampuka, or Wumpa Bazooka, which I actually cannot take out in the warp room. For some odd reason, it won't let me. I guess Coco doesn't want me to shoot her big, giant computer screen. Anyway, let's take on the 5th warp room now, starting with Crash and Burn. I hate this level.
Well, here we are again. I wouldn't necessarily call this irony, but don't you find it a little odd that we keep meeting under these same world domination circumstances? Why not just give up? And let me win for once!
Don't worry, Dr. Cortex. Now that my elemental powers have reached maximum capacity, this little geek is gonna wish he was never created.
I know I'm gonna hate that. I know Cortex probably wishes every single night that he'd never created Crash. And also, what's with Crunch? Like, he was saying how he didn't need the masks or the elemental powers in order to beat Crash, and all of a sudden, oh, I have full elemental powers, so I can beat Crash. Anyway, welcome to Crash and Burn, which I actually can say quite a bit about this level. For one, there's a death route here, so don't die. There's a death route here because we are going to be getting the red gem in the stage. And oh boy, I'm going to have to get it in an unorthodox method because of the fact of the tornado death spin. But what can I say about this level to start off with? This is the first level that was actually developed for Crash Bandicoot 4, The Wrath of Cortex. I believe this is the first one that was developed after the huge debacle. For those of you who are just tuning in for the 5th warp room, this game pretty much was entirely scrapped when Mark Cerny left Universal Interactive and was completely redone. So yeah, pretty much from there it had to be completely reworked in only a year, with giving Traveler's Tale only 1 year to make an entire game. And honestly, I think this was part of the problem that Universal Interactive had, because with Insomniac and with Naughty Dog gone, they seem to think that anyone could do what those two studios could do in just a year. And I will definitely say that this one is a lot better than the one we ended up getting for Spyro's debut on the 6th generation consoles. It's still pretty much just a retread entirely of Crash Bandicoot 3, pretty much, which is kind of disappointing, but I digress. Anyway, so we're in another bonus room. This bonus room actually has something different compared to the other bonus rooms, and we should be getting to it soon enough once I go right over here and do that, and bop, bop, bop. What's that? Is that an Aku mask? Yes! This is the only warp room in any Crash Bandicoot game that actually has an Aku mask in it. This is the last game that also had bonus rooms, so keep that in mind. After this, no other Crash Bandicoot game had bonus rooms like how these are. Right, so let's do that. Right, jump. Whoop, doot. Right, and hit that. We got 3 of those left, and now time to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doot, 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 doot. And we are done. I would have loved if I had jumped over, because you actually can jump over those god dang things. It's stupid. Alright, so that takes care of that. With Lizard here, although Salamander. I'm trying to remember the actual Greek legend about salamanders, because for the longest time, a lot of people didn't know about salamanders, to be quite honest. This is actually, I know this is a strange little tangent to go on, but it's based off stuff I remember what my astronomy teacher was talking about one time, because we were pretty much talking about heliocentric cosmology versus the geocentric, and how most people believe, a lot of people believe more in geocentric, for part of the reason was because Aristotle said it was. I'm not joking, that is literally one of the reasons why, because Socrates and Aristotle believed in it. But pretty much, for a long time, people didn't know about certain creatures such as salamanders, and I don't know how we got to salamanders when we were talking about astronomy, but I guess it was just a tangent. And pretty much, for the longest time in Greek and Roman... Oh, yeah, pretty much it started with Greek and then it went to Roman. Salamanders were literally thought to eat fire. It wasn't until, I believe it was the 20th century in which we started to study more about salamanders and learn, no, they don't eat fire, although I'm pretty sure we should have deciphered that without any scientific research or anything. But, pretty much, yeah. The one connection I can make with Pokemon is the fact that Charmander is a salamander. Charmander is a salamander based off the ancient legend of what we once thought salamanders were, and that they ate fire and everything. It doesn't explain Charizard. Charizard was more just cosmetic. Ah, yes, the Wampuka. One thing I don't like about the GameCube version, but that might be more because of my console or my game, is that the stupid thing seems to be staying. Alright, so right here, okay? Right here, you can see this gap right here. The legitimate way you're supposed to do this in the PS2 version: jump, tornado, death spin. Thing about that, you will not make this jump. You will not make this jump in the GameCube version at all. And this is a problem that games with a higher processor seem to do, because I have seen people on the Xbox version have problems with this jump as well. I guess I could show you guys since I have one Aquamask, so. Make a fucking liar out of me! Seriously, what the hell? It took me 20 times in practice. Make a liar out of me. Normally, you can't make that jump that easily. I'm rather surprised I did that easily the legitimate way. And I had a practice file, too, with a practice recording that I had to scrap. Well, no, it was actually the previous recording for this warp room, but what ended up happening for that one is that, pretty much Py-ror was not agreeing with me. At this point, I'm pretty much going to start just using the Elgato more, because I'm more and more confident with it. So, what ended up happening was, when I was doing that one, I was literally jumping at the highest point and doing this, and I would fall right away. It took 10 lives for me to get that gem, and apparently Let's Play Blessing was on my side this time, I guess? Oh well. Alright. Oh wow, I almost hit the salamander. Oh, I hate those rocks. Whoop. Keep going down. Right. And bop. Alright, so go over this way. Die toucan, Sam. Seriously, why do they commit suicide like that? Now, I will say this. The stupid time travel I hate so much, for the simple fact that it's not forgiving at all. Right, and hit this, and gem. So, there we go. That is the red and the clear gem for the stage, which means all we need to do now is do the time trial. Sweet. Now, we can go back to Bonsai back in the second warp room to get that one gem that is left there, along with something else that is unique to that area. But I'm going to be waiting until I finish up Gold Rush, because Gold Rush also has one of the colored gems. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm having Patton Oscars, or as it's called now, O's! Alright, and now for the time trial for the stage that I don't like. And continuing on from that random Patton Oscars thing, my father had actually come in and was asking if I wanted a pizza from O's, and really, I don't mind their pizza, but if anything, it's the goddamn breadsticks I need. I need their breadsticks. They're so good. But anyway, why do I hate the time trial for this one? Because a lot of this warp room, you need to rely on the Death Tornado spin, and you need to rely on the, what is it called? You need to rely on basically just shortcuts all around, and I'm not good at taking them. And one of the other things is you're really going to need the run ability. We get the run ability later in this warp room. That is what we get from the boss of this warp room, but that, obviously, we still have 5 more levels to go through. Because of that, Gold Rush's time trial is actually not going to be done until I get the run ability. Because that one, I'm going to need to abuse the heck out of that invincibility glitch I showed you in the last warp room. Right? I am surprised I made that. Okay, I took a huge goddamn risk with that. Right. And go. Go. Crud. Right. And here's where it sucks because I can't jump over this because there's an invisible wall, so I have to go down this. That could probably save me a lot of time. Right? Does not matter. Because what the heck? Why did I suddenly careen that way? Like, I got that I slid that way by accident, but I didn't expect a careen. Right. And that's where the camera changes. Is always awkward. Now, one thing I always find weird about this stage is the simple fact that you'll notice that some of the boxes are, like, stuck in the ground. And I don't know why that is the case. Right. Right. Come on. Let's get to the end of the stage. Because I gotta finish this. Right. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. And boom, we're done. So I have to come back and do the time trial for this one to get the gold, and I hate getting the gold on this one because it's 120. Ugh, I hate it. But we're done with Crash and Burn. Honestly, because of the session I had yesterday that I had to scrap, this became my most hated level in the entire game, just trying to get that gem. One thing that you could also end up doing is you can shoot it with the Wampuka. But you have to aim it just precise, and it's annoying to do that. But now, let's go on to the next level. Gold Rush! Behold, Gold Rush with a whopping 209 boxes. This level right here has the most boxes out of any Crash Bandicoot level in the entire series. I was, for a second when I ended up spinning on that thing. Pretty much, yeah, this has the most boxes in it, as well as a death route. That will give us the last of the colored gems, which is the yellow one. Once I get the yellow one, I will do the backtracking in order to go and get the 2 remaining, gems that we need. Kill the derpy donkeys. And those will be in Compactor Reactor in the first warp room, so we could actually finish the first warp room, believe it or not. I was spinning. Alright, I have a hitbox when I'm spinning. How did I get damaged while I was spinning? Oh well, doesn't really matter. I still have 1 Aku mask. All right, and that, and Deppy Donkey, and let's grab that life even though I don't need it. You could always use lives in that 99 counter. All right. Now the time trial for this one is a pain simply because of the fact that you need to. I honestly don't know how to do this without having the run ability and abusing glitches like crazy. But then again, I end up trying that a lot of the time, and I end up failing on that. Right, hit that. Make sure it destroys everything. Perfect. Right. Good. Right, and bop. And 1 and 2 and up and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and dude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dude. Oh, woo. How did I not hit that in the end? That's amazing. Right, that. Right, and 1, 2, 3. Dude. And done. Alright, so we have still 99 lives. Yeah, that's good to know. Thanks for telling me, game. It's not like I could see. Right, and Wampuka. I love the Wampuka. It's a bit sensitive, I will find, in this game. It is really sensitive. But I think that's more because I find that the GameCube's sensitivity feels a bit off. But then again, PS2 also has some sensitivity. Of course, I'd love to test out more of that, but my PS2 is kaput. Ugh. I get paid in a couple days, so I'm going to get a new Slim model. I know some people have already actually PM'd me saying, oh, why don't you just use PSX2? I know PSX2 exists. I'm emulator retarded. I keep on making this point clear. I'm emulator retarded. And also because I want to have the actual system itself to work. I mean, my PS2 was a trooper. Sure, it was 1 year short from being a decade old, but in the 9 years, it's still been my most used console of all time. That's a fact. I mean, heck, I remember one time actually during Final Fantasy X, I was fighting one of the main bosses, it was a sin spawn after Operation Mihan. Those of you who played X, you know what I'm talking about, that giant scorpion sin spawn. And pretty much I left my PS2 on all night. All right, now quick thing for this, hit the B button to go up. You're not going to be able to get all of the boxes unless you hit the B button at the right time to get them. You cannot go back to this section once you're done. Hit the A button to go faster. None of these boxes are going to be, none of the ones that you have to hit the B button on are actually going to be boxes that are time boxes. I know that for a fact, and that light flashes. Anyway, back to my PS2 story. I remember I was young, so I had no idea what the heck I was doing. I didn't know about managing things or anything. And I didn't have any of the second level spells for Lulu. Yeah, I know, that shows how bad it was. And as a result, I could never beat it. I remember one night I got extremely lucky, and I managed to beat it. But if you've done Operation Mihan, you know that there is not a lot of save points in between there. I left my PS2 on all night in order to do it. I left my PS2 on all night in order to be able to do it. That shows how much of a trooper my PS2 was. May it rest in peace. Anyway, these guys right here, these guys on the side with the plungers, they're invincible. They are part of the background for some odd reason. And their attacks, those dynamite, oh, those will damage you, right? No. See that shockwave that comes out initially? That's actually what will damage you. So avoid the shockwave. Let's actually see if I can aim this right. It was a little down. This is the problem when trying to aim the Wampuka from afar. It messes up. I guess we'll get closer. I'm actually right next to the death route, and I kind of want to get an Aku mask that's right there. Nope, didn't get the Aku mask. So, well. But anyway, you can see that Dr. Cortex is wanted here, so that's a nice little cameo right there, I guess. And let us go on to the final death route of the game, ladies and gentlemen, to where we can end up getting the last of the colored gems. Oh boy. I wish I had an Aku mask, but this isn't too bad. These stones right here fall, just to show you. Doesn't actually damage you, see? So in case you people didn't believe me, oh, thank goodness I timed that right. Right, and run. Right, root. Kind of being ballsy with this, I'm not gonna lie. There we go. Oh, that killed me. That sucks. Oh, wait. I know you and your spiel for some reason that the dynamite actually doesn't damage you. Like, I get that it's the initial underground explosion and those are, like, the remaining ones, but the fact that it makes a little sparkling right off that is what confuses me about it, right? So, correct. Wasn't close enough. There we go. That's how you do it. Just always lead on the next box over, because by the time the Wampuka gets there, it's good. And the reason why I was aiming afar from that one is, if you remember, if you take too long, those turn into steel crates in this game. And no, they don't turn it into it in Crash Bandicoot 3, because I've actually been replaying Crash Bandicoot 3. Oh, analog control, how I love you. I would have loved if I ended up getting hit right there. Right. Right, and I really wish I could get rid of these guys, but I can't, because they're part of the background. I don't get why it is that you can't kill the guys with the plungers. It makes no sense. Why... Are they literally just the textures in the background for the level itself? They're not actually models? I mean, that's all I can think of for that. Right, I'm just gonna spin over this. Right, and jump over here, and here's the last of the death route. I actually died on this one, and boom! So there we go. That's the last one, which means this should theoretically be the last suicide. We all know it's not going to be. So, that gives us the yellow gem. I almost did it twice. Right. Go over this way, and now let's actually do the level legitimately. This is a very goddamn long episode. And you might be thinking, oh, this warp room's gonna be long because it's technically the last one before you want to go after, like, you know, the hidden warp room with 100% and everything. No, it's not actually. This warp room, just these 2 levels themselves are Crash and Burn, and this one are pretty much the reason why this warp room's so long. The 3rd mission in this one's an Altisphere stage. The 4th one can be kind of disorienting, but it's honestly very short. And the 25th level in this game is god dang a joke, really. I mean, you can easily get through it. I mean, I did, but watch as I louse it up somehow. Right, and dude. Gonna just blow everything up with my Wampuka. This is pretty much what happened in Crash Bandicoot 3 as well. The moment I got the Wampuka, I just started abusing the hell out of it. And for good reason. Wampuka actually makes it really good for doing time trials, because if you can get far enough to where you could actually shoot the Wampuka at the timer, then it will start and you can have distance ahead. That's how you can do, I believe it's one of the time trials in this one. That's how I ended up doing it, actually, is that you had to do that. And that's where, like, the inaccuracies of not being able to really shoot it that well come into play. And this section right here, as you can see, because of the invincibility, that's why you want to do that when doing the time trial for this stage. But as I said, I'm not going to be doing the time trial until I pretty much get the run ability. Now, I sort of want to test out to see if I could actually jump that way. I might as well just do that in my practice file, actually. I should have tested, because... Alright, there we go. I'm just going out of my way to destroy these right now, just to make it smoother, even though... Okay, I can. Whoa! I kind of clipped right through that. Whoa! Okay, that was my fault. I hit the A button again. I do that a lot, actually. So I actually have to go back a bit. I actually do that quite a bit. It's kind of my fault. Right. I think it's part of me just wanting to end this game because I know I get to do Ratchet and Clank 2 after this, and I like Ratchet and Clank 2. I really like Ratchet and Clank 2. Right. And that. And kill Scorpion. I'm getting better with the Wampuka. I like it. And I always love how a Wampuka sounds like a special brand of a hookah that Crash might use. That's how I always remember it. Remember the Wampuka. Remember hookah that shoots fruit. Right, let's actually kill this thing. And there we go. Right, and now let's climb, which I hate in this game. Why do they make it so slow? I know I badgered that to death in the 4th warp room, but it still doesn't make sense as to why they gimped his jump so much. Right. I love invincibility frames. Sparklies! Right, doot. We're just at the end of the stage. Nice. Right, and we go across here, and there's going to be some boxes that are actually right down there, but a bunch of nitro crates, so I'm not going to go after those individually, because there should be the nitro crate thing right here. But first, let's blow everything. I forgot, you can end up shooting the Wumpa Fruit as well, because they have their own hitbox. There we go. Crystal. There we go. And that. And let's wait for you to hit the plunger. Right. And hit that. Right. That'll cause that to spawn. And there we go. Hit that. And now let's finish this up with these last 6 boxes, which is why I hit the one that should have exploded. And there we go. So, boom, done with those 2. Which means I need to now go back to get the 2 gems that are remaining in the previous warp rooms. For those ones, I'm going to be needing to get Aku masks. So I'll meet you guys inside, first starting off with Bonsai, and then I'll be going into Compactor Reactor. So I'll see you guys there.